Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's just dive right in today. We're looking at benefits and salaries for business admin professionals in Malaysia.
Right, specifically focusing on three big players: Petronas, TNB, and the government-linked companies, or GLICs.
Exactly. We've got this report comparing them. And the goal here for you listening is pretty simple. Get a quick, solid idea of what they offer.
It could be useful if you're thinking about a career change, or maybe just benchmarking.
Yeah, we'll hit the highlights, the kind of surprising stuff, without getting bogged down in all the details.
So just quickly, Petronas, the national oil and gas giant, big global footprint.
Then TNB, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, basically the main power provider for Peninsular Malaysia and Sabah.
And GLICs, those companies with significant government stakes, wielding quite a bit of economic influence through their investments.
Okay, let's kick off with Petronas. Their benefits package, looking at the report, it seems really quite extensive.
It really does. They cover a lot on the health.
Yeah, like medical, dental, optical, even mental health support through an EAP, right? And they mentioned vaccinations, preventive screenings, too.
That's quite proactive. It suggests they're really focused on overall well-being, which makes sense in, a demanding industry like oil and gas.
Totally. And for families, there's stuff like allowances for kids with special needs, childcare help in some places.
Subsidized childcare, yeah, and mother's rooms. Leave if family members are hospitalized.
Even help with education costs for kids of multinational staff. It feels like they're acknowledging that family life matters.
Definitely. It shows an understanding that personal responsibilities affect professional performance.
Then there's this Flexi at Petronas initiative. Sounds interesting.
It is. It bundles different flexibility options. Flexi work covers things like hybrid and remote work.
With connectivity allowances, I saw, and even arrangements if dependents have contagious diseases.
Right. Then there's flexi hour, flexible start end times, compressed work weeks, even reduced hours for pregnant employees.
And FlexiWear. Smart casual dress code. Seems quite modern.
It aligns with current workplace trends, giving employees more control.
Plus, they cover leave for, big life moments, marriage, bereavement, calamities, and spiritual commitments, volunteering, even lifestyle discounts.
So a very broad approach to employee support. And what about growth?
Good point. Financial aid for studies, development programs, recognition schemes, study leave, structured career paths, it's all in there.
That investment in development is key for attracting people looking for long-term careers.
And financially, beyond salary, there are skill allowances, survivor benefits, life insurance, accident cover, and extra retirement contributions mentioned.
And the report did mention a good salary, generally.
Yeah, on salaries.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a discrepancy in the averages reported, like RM 83,000 versus RM 14,000, probably due to the huge range of roles and seniority, I guess.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
But focusing on BBA holders.
Yeah, the average there was about RM 66,000 annually, which is notably higher than the Malaysian national average of around RM 47,000.
That's a significant premium. Suggests strong demand for those skills in the energy sector.
And for specific roles, like a business analyst with data skills, it could be around RM 88,800. Entry level looked like RM 48,000 to RM 84,000 maybe?
That entry range is quite wide, again, probably reflecting different entry points. And they seem competitive with the international oil companies operating there, like Shell or BP.
Yeah, the report benchmarked them. Shell Infotech around RM 74K, BP higher at RM 92K, ExxonMobil RM 80K, Petronas holds its own.
Definitely competitive.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Petronas. What about TNB?
Okay, Tenaga Nasional Berhad. They also seem to emphasize work-life balance, flexible work arrangements, various leave types.
Like compassionate, marriage, study leave. Similar to Petronas in some ways.
Seems so. They also have childcare facilities, the TNB Educare program, though it's location-dependent and subsidized.
And housing provision.
Yeah, quarters or board rental for some operational roles, plus religious leave Hajj for Muslims, specific leave for other religions.
That's quite specific. What about healthcare?
Free medical benefits for employees and dependents. That's a big one. And holiday accommodation perks, welfare assistance for hardships, long service awards.
It sounds like a very comprehensive, almost paternalistic benefits structure built over time.
Yeah, group insurance, housing car loan interest help, even a retirement award ceremony.
Okay, and compensation at TNB. Any specific figures?
Well, again, some variation in reported averages. But one source cited a national average for business admin management at TNB around RM 159,000 annually.
Wow, that's quite high.
Yeah, with entry-level management around RM 112,000 and senior level potentially touching RM 200,000. But that's management.
Right, important distinction. What about more entry-level admin roles?
An admin executive in KL, the range looked like RM 36,000 to maybe RM 43,200 a year. And TNB did raise their internal minimum wage to RM 1,700 per month.
Okay, so decent potential, especially moving up the ladder.
Definitely looks that way. Right, let's shift to the GLICs, government-linked companies.
A bit different here is it's a broader category of companies.
True. So you have the mandatory stuff first. Minimum wage, regulated hours, annual leave, sick leave, public holidays, maternity, paternity leave.
The standard baseline required by law. Plus EPF, SOCSO, EIS contributions.
Exactly. But then many GLICs add supplementary benefits on top.
Like medical insurance, life insurance, maybe dental or optical allowances.
Yeah, personal accident cover, performance bonuses, flexible work options are becoming more common too.
And there are emerging trends mentioned, right? Like better pensions, allowances for travel or housing, more paid leave.
Enhanced parental leave, professional development support, EAPs, wellness programs, even childcare support starting to appear more.
So they're definitely trying to compete for talent beyond just meeting the basic requirements.
And the really big development here is the living wage policy.
Ah, yes, implemented by 6 major GLICs like Kazana, PNB, EPF.
Right. Setting a benchmark of RM 3,100 per month for total compensation.
Wow.
It's quite a bit higher than the national minimum wage.
It's a significant move, part of the wider economy Medinane framework aimed at boosting well-being and productivity.
And it covers total comp, so benefits value is included in reaching that RM 3 on 100.
Which is important. PNB is encouraging its linked companies to adopt it by 2026, I believe.
So how does this translate to salaries in GLICs generally?
Well, for something like an office administrator, the average monthly salary in Malaysia is often cited around RM 2,200 to RM 3,000. So that living wage policy is clearly impactful there.
Right, it lifts the floor considerably. An administrative clerk average was higher, though, around RM 4,370 monthly.
And for BBA holders generally in Malaysia, the average base salary is around RM 72,000 annually, so RM 6,000 a month, but with a wide range.
Okay. And, say, a finance and administration manager in KL.
Looking at maybe RM 6,250 to RM 8,750 monthly on average. So RM 75,000 to RM 105,000 a year.
So a clear progression available.
Definitely.
Okay, let's try to quickly compare them then. Petronas and TNB seem to have these really deep, extensive benefit structures built up over years.
Yes, going well beyond the statutory minimums. GLICs are getting stronger, especially with that living wage setting a new floor and the trend towards more supplementary benefits.
Entry-level admin salaries seem broadly similar, starting out maybe in that RM 3,000 to RM 4,000 monthly range, considering TNB's minimum and the GLIC living wage influence.
Mid-level looks competitive across the board. Petronas might have an edge for certain specialized roles, starting by those BBA figures. Maybe RM 4,000 up to RM 7,500 plus monthly.
And senior management potential seems strong in all three sectors, easily breaking RM 10,000 monthly and going much higher, potentially touching those high figures TNB showed.
Right. Perhaps slight advantages in Petronas TNB for energy sector expertise, but GLICs offer solid senior roles too.
So wrapping up, it seems business administration professionals have pretty good options across these major Malaysian sectors.
Agreed. Competitive compensation, strong benefits, especially in Petronas and TNB, and GLICs are improving significantly with initiatives like the living wage.
Key things for you to consider would be, well, company culture, obviously. Career progression paths, Petronas and TNB sounded quite structured there.
Job security, which is generally perceived as high in these sectors. And industry alignment, what fits you best.
And definitely that living wage impact in GLICs. If you're looking at entry-level roles, just remember salary data always varies based on the source, the specific role, your experience.
Exactly. Use this as a guide, but do your own digging.
Which leads to our final thought for you. Beyond the numbers we've discussed, what non-salary factors, maybe the work itself, the company's mission, the specific team, might actually be the most decisive for you when you think about your next career move in Malaysia's corporate world?
That's the key question. Definitely worth checking job portals, detailed salary surveys, and talking to people in your network to get the full picture.